you have an arraignment? Do you have an arraignment?
Yes.
Okay, okay, come on.
On, Rashad husband?
Rashad husband, come on up. Do you mind filing those conditions on Williams?
Yes, Judge.
Good morning, Mr. Husband. You were charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. You were facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you.
Yes, Judge. On February 9th, 2025, the officer was dispatched to assist the officer call in regards to a shots fired at 1700 Travis Street. The defendant was detained because the officer observed an unidentified individual discharge a firearm, and the defendant was within that group of people. The defendant admitted to the officer that he had 2 ecstasy pills in his right front pocket and that there was an AR pistol in the SUV the defendant was driving. The officer completed a search of the defendant and located 2 methamphetamine pills in his front right pocket, and the defendant informed the officer that he was aware of the AR pistol in the SUV prior to him getting behind the wheel. The officer located the AR pistol on the floor in the second row of the SUV within reach of the driver. The substance was believed to be methamphetamine based on training experience with a weight of 0.61 grams.
Husband, I'm going to find that there's probable cause. Wait a second. He says that the AR is his?
He says he was aware that it was in the vehicle and it was within his reach in the vehicle.
Whose vehicle is it?
I don't believe it says in the DMs. It says he was driving the vehicle.
How do you put it on him?
Allow me to read the full DMs, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. It says that he was driving, so it would be that he was in care custody control because he was operating the vehicle with knowledge that the firearm was in there and it was within his reach, his ability to grab the firearm.
Diego Camacho?
Not. How do we know that how do we know that it was in there while he was driving? How do we know that they didn't put in there after the fact?
The defendant stated that he was aware that the AR pistol was in the vehicle before he got into the driver's seat, before he started driving.
No. It just said that he was aware.
Okay.
Don't add stuff in.
I'll read the complete DIM.
Read it.
It says the DIM states completely that the defendant informed the affiant, the officer, he was aware the AR pistol was in the SUV prior to him getting behind the wheel, and the defendant informed the officer that the AR pistol could be found in the SUV at the time of his arrest.
Are we to assume that it's his? All he says that he knew that it was in there. You know, it's not his car.
In Your Honor, just as cited, the pleading is that it was on or about his person. So we're just saying he was in his possession because it was in the vehicle he was operating with knowledge that the AR was in the vehicle as well as it being within.
Do you even know when he was operating the vehicle?
I apologize. What do you mean when he was operating?
Was he operating it in the morning, in the afternoon, at 9 o'clock at night? When did all this transpire? What time of day is this?
Let me see, Your Honor, because based on the DIMs that I see, it appears that
There's a group of people.
it appears that the defendant was, according to the DIMs, the defendant was found to be at the wheel of a black GMC. So when the officer arrived, he was observed within the vehicle, from what the officer says.
He was in the car at the time the cops get there.
From what the officer says, that he was observed behind the wheel of the vehicle. To be at the wheel of the black GMC Suburban bearing a license plate number that is in the DIM. So it,
Okay. All right. Mr. Husband, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I mean, we take it seriously. I want to make sure if there's enough probable cause that's, so I am ordering you as a condition of your bond not to be in possession of weapons. Do you understand? If I find that you're a danger to my public, I only have one place for you. So don't. That includes everything. Do you understand, Mr. Husband? You mind filing no weapons, please?
Yes, Judge.
You have a lawyer. Because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance, but it is your responsibility to stay in touch with them. If they tell me they can't get a hold of you because you're ducking, you're dodging, you pick up a new case, it's not going to go well for you. You understand? All right. I'm going to have you sign a receipt, Victoria. We'll have you take a seat in the jury box. I get your bond conditions. We'll have you sign it, and then you're free to go. All right.
Yes.
All right, Judge, next is case number 4.
Octavian Edwards. Mr. Edwards, you're charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. You are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. On February 7th, 2025, at approximately 10:04 p.m., the officer observed a vehicle with an expired registration as of December 2023. A traffic stop was initiated and the officer made contact with the defendant, the driver, and sole occupant of the vehicle. The officer smelled a strong odor of marijuana and observed the grip of a green handgun underneath the front center folding third seat directly within the defendant's wingspan. The officer asked the defendant how much marijuana was in the vehicle, and the defendant stated 7 grams. A PC search was conducted and the officer retrieved the handgun, which was loaded and unholstered. The officer also located a marijuana cigarette and 2 clear plastic bags containing a green leafy substance recognized as marijuana in the center console with a weight of 3 grams.
All right, Mr. Edwards, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to be in possession of weapons. Do you understand? Does he have a valid Texas driver license?
It appears that his license is expired, Your Honor.
You don't have a license. You're not allowed to drive. I don't care what's going on in your life. If you want to drive, go get a license, get liability insurance, and then I can take this restriction off. But if I find that you drive, it's really not going to go well for you. Do you understand? You will be signing a promise with me. This is an affidavit that you're not going to drive. And I hope that you heed this warning because I take it absolutely seriously. I don't care what's going on in your life. I don't care if it's a burning building. You have to go save 50 kids. Don't drive. Shoot.
There was another firearm in my vehicle. It was a rifle. Do I have the right to?
You need a lawyer. I can't give you legal advice. The only thing I'm telling you is I don't want you to possess any weapons. So don't, because I'm going to put you in jail if I find that you violate these conditions. No more PR bonds. Do you understand? A lawyer can answer all these questions for you. I'm just not allowed to give you legal advice. Do you have the ability to hire a lawyer, sir? So what I'll have you do is I'll have you fill out an application. Let me take a look at it to see whether you qualify. And if you do, then I'll give you a lawyer. But above all else, do not drive. You, Blake Long, Mr. Long, you're charged in 2 cases. You're charged with possession of marijuana. You're also charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. You're facing up to 6 months in jail on the weed case, and you're facing up to a year on the gun case. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. On February 8th, 2025, the officer observed the defendant's vehicle driving west on Sam Houston and ran the Texas license plate of the vehicle through NCIC, TCIC. The officer found a return came back with the registration expired as of September 2024. A traffic stop was then initiated and the officer made contact with the defendant, the driver, and sole occupant. The officer observed a strong odor of marijuana and could see a green leafy substance in a pocket behind the passenger seat. The green leafy substance was in a clear glass jar, and the defendant stated he was driving to his grandmother's house and stated he had just smoked. The defendant stated there was marijuana in the back seat within arm's reach and that the marijuana was for his grandmother. The defendant further stated there was a 9mm handgun inside the middle console area, not registered to him. The officer searched the motor vehicle and located the glass jar containing a clear bag with green leafy substance in the center console area and the 9mm handgun inside the middle console. The substance was believed to be marijuana based on training experience with a weight of 12.1 grams.
So long, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. Can you run his license, please?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. You're not allowed to drive unless you also have liability insurance. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
That is a bond condition of yours as well. Do not pick up any new cases. I don't want you in possession of any weapons at this time.
Yes, sir.
Understand?
Yes, sir.
Do you have the ability to hire a lawyer?
No, sir.
Okay. I'll have you fill out an application to see whether you qualify. I'll have you sign a reset with Victoria. We'll have you take a seat in the jury box. We'll have you sign the bond conditions and I'll have you meet with a lawyer here momentarily. Okay.
Judge,
Please.
was that state sponsored?
States. Yeah. I don't think you qualify for an appointed lawyer, man. You just make too much money, really. Do you have any children?
I have 2 children I put on there, 2 and 1. The only income for the household.
You married?
No, sir.
Do you get support for the children?
No, sir.
All right, I'll grant it.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor.
Anybody else? Good morning, Mr. Mickish. So you're charged with terroristic threat. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. On August 1st, 2024, the officer was dispatched to a disturbance call, and upon arrival, the complainant and security staff stated that the defendant made threats to kill everyone, broke two hospital monitors, and was acting aggressive towards the medical staff. The complainant stated the medical staff became scared since the defendant stated, "I will kill you all." The complainant stated she was scared for her life since she did not know what the defendant would do next at that moment.
That doesn't sound right, because I didn't do that.
I'll give you a lawyer and we can go through this with a lawyer. So did he direct it at a person? Is he directing at the entire world?
The statement was only made that "I will kill you all." And it says the complainant stated the medical staff became scared, and the statement was that "I will kill you all." That's all we have from the DIMS, Your Honor. And then furthermore, the complainant did state she was the only one at the hospital at the time of the officer's arrival, since the rest of the medical staff had gone through a shift change and she was the only one there. So it's not exactly clear who was there when the statement was made. He just said, "I will kill you all."
All right, so who's it directed to? Just,
I don't remember that.
The DIMS does state that the defendant started to act aggressive towards the medical staff.
and I think that's why she was scared, right?
It appears that because it followed on saying the defendant was, the complainant said she was scared and the medical staff was scared since he stated, "I will kill you all." So it appears that it was directed towards the medical staff as he was acting aggressive towards the medical staff.
It appears.
Because there's just
A
two distinct sentences, Your Honor, where he acted aggressive towards the medical staff and the complainant stated the medical staff became scared since the defendant stated, "I will kill you all."
I thought I already did time for that too.
Mr. Mickish, I'm going to find that there's no probable cause to go forward with your case, but you need to be careful.
Yeah.
Scaring people can kind of hurt them. You know what I mean?
Your Honor, I don't,
Don't. Mr. Mickish, patience goes a long way.
Yeah.
You know, when you get upset and when you lose control, that's why we have so many people in jail, because they lose control. They do whatever they want to do. And they don't think, if I do this, what's going to happen? If I say this, what's going to happen? Be careful. All right. All right. Just hang tight for me in the back.
All right, Judge, next is